Today, we get to talk about an XRP partnership that transcends a traditional alliance, in their own words, of a company with a very exciting business model. I am so excited to share this update. We've been sharing many updates about Ripple partnerships. Well, today's partnership is actually a company that has decided to integrate the XRP ledger into their business model, and this is the type of adoption that we need to actually move XRP price. This is actually utilizing the token. This is building out liquidity and moving more value on the XRP ledger. So let's get this party started. I'm so excited to bring this update to you guys today. And by the way, if you are new here, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. But if you're looking to get in touch with me or join my private group, get help with anything in regards to digital assets, any investments, running your business, real estate asset class, precious metals, prepping, spiritual connection, we do it all in our private family. That's over at my website, ZachRector.com, and you sign up for Patreon to get access to Discord. And for the time being, right now, we actually are taking one-on-one sessions. We're probably going to be taking those till the end of the year, and then we'll probably be cutting those off once again. So get in while you can. We are building out our list. And like I said, that's something that is going to be probably cut off once again at the end of the year. So appreciate everyone for stopping by. Right on into the update today. Now, I finally got my money's worth out of Bloomberg, right? As you guys already know by now, the update from Bloomberg was that Binance here is looking to settle up. And this is the United States Department of Justice looking for a $4 billion settlement from Binance. So they're looking to get that big fat check. You guys have already seen it by now. But yes, I do pay $35 per month for my Bloomberg membership. And I finally get some good use out of it as I got the exclusive here. And I wanted to highlight that because it's kind of interesting to me that they've done this. I think that they wanted to get the reaction from the public and the reaction from the crypto space. But then they also follow it up. They went back to back. They're seeking a $4 billion deal. And for some reason, they let that leak to Bloomberg, journalists. For some reason, the Department of Justice wanted to get that out for whatever reason, right? And then they follow it up. They weren't done. And they announced that they have filed a lawsuit against Kraken as well. And that's in the Northern District of California in the San Francisco office. Taking a look here at Kraken's response. Today, the SEC filed a complaint alleging that Kraken operates as an unregistered national securities exchange, broker, and clearinghouse. We disagree with their claims and plan to vigorously defend our position. Now, don't forget that Kraken has already settled up in February of this year when they settled up on their staking as a service program. So we can't forget this one, right? This was earlier this year. They decided to essentially, I'm just going to be honest with you guys, right? They really didn't stand up at all. They basically bent over and cut the SEC a check for $30 million to settle these charges over the staking program. And they, simultaneously ended that program for U.S. investors. Now, what gets interesting about this case is that they specifically mention the cryptocurrencies that they believe are securities. So we're taking a look here. The complaint against Kraken feels like the same thing as the Coinbase suit. Notably, here are another list of digital assets that the SEC is claiming to be securities. There's 16 cryptos explicitly listed here, including Solana, Cardano, and Algorand. So you got a full list here. Now, they basically were able to get Kraken to come to the table and admit that their staking program, which they cite as some of their staking was offering up to 21%. So God forbid any of us get a better return than what the measly return the banks are offering right now, right? God forbid. Whether or not all of those programs, all those staking platforms were legit or not is a different story. They came after this. It's a big threat to the incumbents, the whole staking and DeFi. It's going to take a lot of money and revenue and fees away from the traditional banking system. So the staking one was very clear. Kraken signed that check for $30 million, and they thought maybe that they were in the clear. Oh no, you're dealing with the U.S. government, you're dealing with the SEC, and you're dealing with, a regulator that is just unhinged, right? And they continue this regulation through enforcement. The good news in this case here, we understand they made a case against staking and they got many other exchanges to settle up those charges already. This case is it them being an unregistered securities dealer, broker-dealer, and they specifically mentioned these 16 different cryptos, And so we get to see the case that they're going to make on why these digital assets are a security in and of themselves. Now, you got to look, they're making up their new verbiage, their new definitions. Crypto asset securities, as we keep on hearing Gary Gensler call them, right? Crypto asset securities. These crypto asset securities are investment contracts represented by the underlying crypto asset. So they're saying that the underlying crypto asset in and of itself constitute that investment contract that makes up a crypto asset security. So unlike XRP, and I retweeted this one out, and I did say they weren't able to include XRP in this lawsuit. And this is such a beautiful thing to see this thing come full circle. And we're going to get to hear their case on why they think that these digital assets in and of themselves are a security. And it includes coins like Cardano, AXS, Algorand, Atom, CHZ, Cody, Dash, Filecoin. That's another popular one, right? Flow, ICP, Mana, Matic, Near, OMG, Sand, and Solana, which were alleged in one or more of the following actions against other unregistered intermediaries, including Bitrix and including Binance and including Coinbase. So they literally, right off the bat here, cite these three cases that they have filed this year in April, June, and these two are both in June, Binance and Coinbase. So Operation Choke Point continues, and like I said, the most ironic thing is seeing this thing come full circle. And all we ever wanted was a level playing field. So I'm not a fan of the SEC going after Kraken, going after anyone, right? We don't have clear regulations. We do have some clear laws in regards to securities, but let's see if they're going to be making their case for crypto asset securities in the court of law, and we'll see. Now, I suspect, just like with Binance, that they're going to try to get these companies to just come to a settlement because they don't actually want to have to make this case. They don't actually want to have to win this in court. They just want to muscle these companies with threatening further charges against CZ, right? Even if Binance pays that $4 billion, they still want to leave on the table the ability to go after CZ. Which, that's what I mean by this whole story getting leaked to Bloomberg just shows me that they were trying to flex their muscles and get their reaction, right? Essentially saying that, yeah, we might collect a $4 billion check from Binance, but nobody's going to get clarity, and we're still going after CZ, which is, kind of showing their hand towards CZ as well, who is residing in the United Arab Emirates, I believe, or in Dubai, one or the other. But what's so ironic is seeing this thing come full circle. The folks, the crowd, the Bitcoin, the Ethereum maxis, and even the likes of Jesse Powell, right? The creator of this exchange. All of these guys came after us and attacked us and had to throw little low blow digs. And what's ironic now is that the asset not mentioned in the lawsuit and the asset that he can trade free and clear on his exchange is now XRP. But I'm talking about this tweet that Jesse Powell put out in March of 2021. He responded to people asking him why he decided to delist XRP. And he said, clearly, and remember, Jesse Powell actually comes from Ripple. He was at Ripple early on, and clearly he has some hard feelings. He said, if Ripple hadn't effed me, I might be more interested in taking on some risk for them. XRP is one of 50 plus assets that Kraken supports. We're not going to blow up the whole business for one company whose own shenanigans got them in trouble. Well, their own shenanigans right now have been proven in a court of law that they're clear. The institutional sales, right, those were ruled as a security, so you got them there. But there was no shenanigans. There was no fraud, and clearly he was bent out of shape over some deal. This is what happens in business, right? When you have a major business like Ripple, you're always going to have a pissed off employee, a pissed off person who got in, who's bent out of shape. And maybe, maybe he did get screwed. I don't know. I have no idea. But at the end of the day, right, he talks about he didn't want to keep XRP listed because it's one of 50 plus assets that make up their whole business. Well, now it comes full circle. Now he has full clarity, right? Programmatic sales are not a security. And then we know that as long as you got a blind big bid-ask offer on the secondary market, you're good to go, even programmatic sales. And so he has 16 assets that have been labeled as a crypto asset security on his platform. And now he's going to be forced to delist those 16 while he can still trade XRP. And he better hope that he trades a lot of XRP, because they're going to need to make up for those legal fees. They're going to have to make up, they settled up for $30 million earlier this year. Who knows how much they're going to try to get extorted for this time around, right? They want $4 billion out of Binance. Maybe they'll try to get $1 billion out of Kraken. Kraken's not quite as big as Binance. But what also is concerning, what we need to take a look at too, is that Kraken's been one of the main exchanges for cashing out of Tether as of late. You go watch the on-chain volume from Tether to USDC and out, Tether out to USD on their platform. It's been one of the last few exchanges that's really providing a solid off-ramp for big money. So it's going to be interesting to watch this one kind of get tightened up, even though I guess Tether wasn't included in the lawsuit there. That's interesting. So Tether wasn't included, but these 16 other coins were. So that's going to be very interesting. But like I said, not that I want to see all these projects get attacked and taken down. It's just ironic that they tried to come after us. Now we're in the clear and they're all getting sued. And this is unfortunate. This is why I'm not a fan of this, is that even on a global scale, these exchanges are shutting down. Bitrix already got sued earlier this year, and they did end up settling up that case, I believe. But now they are informing the public. They regret to inform us that Bitrix Global has decided to wind down its operations, and effective Monday, December 4th, 2023, all trading activity on Bitrix Global will be disabled. After that date, customers will only be able to withdraw assets as part of the winding down process. This is all part of the damages done on a worldwide basis. So it's very clear by now that it's not just the actions of the SEC impacting companies back home. It's actually having broader impact as well. Now, did they make some poor business decisions outside of this? Maybe, and that's part of it, right? But without a doubt, the damages are massive. And the lawsuit with Bitrix, the lawsuit with Coinbase, with Binance, this is all now ongoing. What I'm excited to see now is that the SEC is really going to be forced to make their case, unless Kraken just bends over once again and gives up and signs a check for $500 million or $1 billion, or, when Binance signs off for $4 billion, it once again is exactly what the SEC wants to do. Extort money out of these businesses without actually having to defend themselves in court. It appears that that is the business model of the SEC, and Gary Gensler has continued that on under his reign as well. Now, it's funny because Senator Cynthia Lummis tweeted out, how ridiculous this was, yada, yada, yada. And I retweeted her and I said, then issue the subpoena tomorrow, right? And we got the House GOP, the Republicans that have been talking tough, right? Issue the subpoena tomorrow. If this is truly over the line and you guys aren't just talking and flapping your lips and doing the DC dance, issue the subpoena tomorrow, please. You're way late, but let's get it done tomorrow. Are they going to do that? No. And they continue to allow this, regulator that is just drunk on power to continue going after everyone and causing massive amounts of damage before we just get some clarity, some rules of the road that most companies want to comply with. Now, what I'm excited for is after all of these rules get set, we can just get clear on what's a security, what's not a security, and how we can build businesses, how we can integrate this into our businesses, our investments, how we can democratize these investment opportunities in a way that gets more inclusion. We want a more inclusive opportunity for folks, whether they're accredited or not. As long as you're providing full disclosures, what is the problem? Right? There's very clear. You got to be an investment broker. You got to, you got to be a broker dealer. You got to be an investment advisor. There, very clear securities laws going back for 80 plus years. The underlying asset has never been the security. It's always been an investment contract. What's new with crypto is that they're going to be making their case that the way that Solana fundamentally, is validated makes it a security by you investing in it, by you selling it. So that's a very, very bold claim. I'm excited to see them fight this out, but then I'm excited to see the investment opportunities that are coming around the horizon. And Molly Elmore put together this visual on yield-based securities, and this is what I'm talking about. See, securities aren't bad, right? Everybody, most people own some sort of security, whether that's stocks, bonds, many different types. But once we get into this new system here, as the world prepares to transition from a debt-based monetary system to an asset-backed one, yield-bearing equity investments will evolve into a new role, a thread on this form of investment and the appeal for those seeking mailbox money. And she talks about royalty investment trusts, master limited partnerships, tokenization, direct investments, and the innovative blockchain technology will make yield-based securities more efficient and accessible in the future. And this was put together from Val Hill advisors, Jimmy Valley, Molly Elmore, just continuing to add value. And they have their eyes on the prize, which is these new ways to put together investments that are more inclusive, that bring on the rest of the world. And this is going to only grow these markets exponentially over the coming decades. What an incredible opportunity that we get to get in early on. So we're looking at bonds. Government and corporate bonds are historically the most common type of yield-bearing security. However, they are based on debt and often not secured with real-world cash-flowing assets. Very true. The debt-based money system is on its way out, and the world is preparing to welcome a new monetary system built around assets. This transition will impact how people invest their money. At a macro level, yield-based securities are an alternative to a savings account. When you invest in a yield-bearing security, you're essentially investing money in an organization that pays you investment back with a bit extra, known as the yield. Excuse me. These securities provide regular payouts, making them a reliable source of income. However, the returns are not always high, so don't expect the same as with highly speculative investments. There are several types of yield-based securities based on cash-flowing assets, including royalty investment trusts, master limited partnerships, streaming royalty investment trusts, and exchange-traded funds, the ETFs, which we all know about. And the Wall Street boys are coming in a massive way to offer these yield-based securities, right? They want you investing in yield-based securities through their program, through the 401k scheme. That is their whole business. They need you to stay under their management so that they can collect their fees. As long as you keep your money with them and keep it moving, they could care less what your yield ends up being, right? And what's so unfortunate about the debt system that we have right now, along with the amount of massive money printing, was the misallocation of funds. And they created an environment here where you can't get 5% on a bond and think that you're winning anymore because real inflation is at 10 to 20%. So what does it cause folks like me to do? Well, I'm not interested in a 5% bond. I'm only interested in, 100x, 10x investments in more high risk stuff. And I focus on making big moves within my businesses. Because 5 to 10% yield, you're barely breaking even with the real rate of inflation. So that's the problem in the environment they've now created, is that even on that 5% bond or a 10% real estate investment trust, you're barely making a real rate of return, and it's encouraging more risk, right? So for me, I got my safe side of my portfolio, right? My silver. And then on the other side, you got to go big. Go big or go home. Don't waste your time trying to get a 10% yield, right? Now, we also see that she mentions a couple others right here. Royalty investment trusts enable investing in royalty income streams from various cash flowing assets, such as intellectual property, natural resources, or real estate. And I'm excited to see folks start getting paid for their data. I mean, just everything, right? They offer a unique way to generate passive income from royalties. Master limited partnerships combine the tax benefits of a limited partnership with the liquidity of common stock. They are publicly traded partnerships that often focus on energy infrastructure and offer stable distribution yields to investors. And that's one thing that ain't going away, is going to be that energy. Very excited for the investment opportunities in energy, right? And commodities. Exchange-traded funds are investment funds traded on stock exchanges, providing investors with diversified exposure to various assets, including stocks, bonds, and commodities. Some ETFs, like those related to MLPs or high-yield securities, can be yield-based. There is a movement to use ETFs to hold digital assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. These yield-bearing investments play important roles in diversification, risk management, and income generation within an investment portfolio. Creating stability and predictability are valuable components of a robust economy. As with any important investment, conduct your own research. Seeking advice from a financial advisor is also recommended for intelligent, long-term investing. And like I said, I'm not here to be your financial advisor, but all of my content is about doing due diligence on every single financial market and asset class. That's what my show is on a daily basis, is doing due diligence on the current events BS lie that they're telling us, decoding that along with the economic data so that I can plug it in and we can really analyze and understand why the financial markets are moving the way that they're going. And then positioning ourselves within those asset class so that if you watch what I do, I'm in complete control with all of my investments, with my business, and within my life. And I worked very hard to get there. It wasn't overnight. It wasn't easy. It wasn't overnight. Took over, almost a decade to get to this point. I am not an overnight success, and I have accomplished dang near nothing as far as where we're going. We're just getting started. But the reason why I talk about this content on a daily basis, and when these yield-based securities come through, when the AMM liquidities pool come through, more DeFi comes to the XRP ledger, we're looking at real estate deals. We're looking at private equity like Ripple and other companies too. The reason why I talk about these is to show you guys how I'm doing my due diligence so that you can add that to your own due diligence, to your own education. I can be a resource for you to make better investments. That's why we put this content together. And I'm so excited because after we get the rules of the road, we'll be able to start creating these. I'm excited to bring these opportunities to my community. That's what we're in the middle of working on right now. Private equity investments along with real estate, right? Now, this is so exciting. And to talk about the additional utility that's coming to the XRP ledger, we now see it's being reported that we have over 1,500 apps and exchanges built onto the XRP ledger. The XRPL ecosystem is now expanding rapidly with many new projects and use cases. And this is what I'm talking about. It is coming in a massive way. And the partnership that transcends a traditional alliance is this one here today from Credifi. We're happy to announce our integration with the XRP ledger. Here's our latest news, which will give you a handful insight. We are excited to bring more light into what Credifi is trying to achieve in the near future. Expanding the boundaries of traditional finance and blockchain technology is just a small fraction of what we are aiming for. Being the first movers is not an easy task, but what we've been managing to quite well so far. We've been managing it quite well so far. Now, what's so exciting about this partnership is that it's with the XRP ledger. They're not having their hand held by Ripple. They're not being consulted by Ripple. Maybe they're friends with Ripple. I'm sure they're well aware. Ripple did retweet out this post here. But this is not a Ripple partnership. This is, hey, we're trying to collateralize real world assets and give out loans to businesses and companies that need loans. We're doing this through the tokenization of real world assets, right? And we are going to integrate our business model with the XRP ledger. And this is what I'm talking about, is that we're starting to see DeFi get unlocked, and it is going to flourish on the XRP ledger. Now, Wrath of Kahneman put together a thread breaking down who Credifi is and what this partnership is about. But I'm so excited because this is so important. This is what starts to move the needle for XRP price. All these Ripple partnerships, and they're not even using the XRP ledger yet, right? There's many of those. 75% of RippleNet clients were not using XRP ledger on-demand liquidity. It was only about 25%. Now Ripple's merged it all to Ripple payments, right? But we are seeing that this deal right here is directly using the XRP ledger and the DEX, and maybe they'll tap into the AMM when we get that as well too. The Credifi news holds potential for XRP and the XRPL. Small to medium enterprise lending, bonds. Oh, we just mentioned bonds, right? Liquidity pools and real world assets. So I'm sure they will be tapping into the AMM. What is it and how does it work? Credifi provides SME loans in the EU. Short-term bridge liquidity loans to a portfolio of SMEs, a quick thread. And that's why in the thumbnail of this video, I put the XRP ledger, we put the Credifi logo, and then we put the European Union, because this is a company that's working with clarity, with an understanding. And so now they can bring real world products and start lending to small and medium enterprises that need this capital. So this is so exciting. Credifi is a fintech with a platform that offers P2P lending, fiat borrowing, and collateralized real-world assets. There are a couple of chains involved here, including their platform token, Credi, used in liquidity pools. Their claim is XRPL Forward using GateHub Euro, USD, and Bitstamp Euro stablecoins. So to get started, right, we have GateHub, which has already issued Euro on the XRP ledger and the US dollar on the XRP ledger. So this is what I'm talking about. We need more legitimate issuers on the XRP ledger. And we have two right now. We have GateHub, which has issued Euro and USD, and we have Bitstamp, which has also issued Euro as well. These are Euro stablecoins and US dollar stablecoins. Significant, they aren't partnered with Ripple, just using the XRP ledger. This isn't on-demand liquidity. It's moving assets on the XRP ledger using GateHub and Bitstamp as gateways, presumably. God, I love this. This is so massive. The Credifi CEO states that strategic use of the XRPL transcends a conventional alliance. It's a solidification of our persistent dedication to pioneering unexplored avenues in the DeFi sector and revolutionary financial solutions. This is what we're talking about, baby. Let's go. This is what we've been waiting the XRP ledger to get utilized for. We don't need Ripple, right? We just start moving real world value on the XRPL with a legitimate business here. Also forthcoming, NFT bonds, fractionally traded, predates the XRPL, and likely uses whatever chain their platform is built on. Regardless, it holds potential to increase system liquidity if, say, GateHub USD loans are secured by NFT collateral. Something else to watch for, they also claim they will offer an XRP incentive program at some point. As a DeFi platform, they offer liquidity pool staking. And this is what I'm talking about. There's going to be plenty of folks that are going to be vying for our business, where it's going to be easy as just 1 or 2 clicks to start basically staking your XRP or providing it for these liquidity pools so that you can be part of the incentive program, so that you can get a return, right? And a couple of implications that can be made here. The 3 stablecoin volumes should be visible on the XRP ledger, bringing liquidity to the DEX. This is just like Palau's stablecoin, right? Palau's stablecoin was built onto the XRP ledger mainnet. So we were watching people in Palau buy candy bars at the grocery corner store. That's what being on the layer 1 mainnet using the DEX does, is it puts it out there for all of us to see. So we're going to be able to track these 3 stablecoin volumes and see if they start to pick up from this business right here. I think that they could, right? They're going to be starting small, but I think that this is something that could get snowballing really quick. They could use the AMM would provide synergy. Absolutely. The AMM is just going to make the DEX all that more efficient and more liquid. And it's going to have it's going to add incentive for more issuers to come to the XRP ledger and issue stablecoins, issue assets, and then add them to liquidity pools and start moving them through the AMM. Hopefully, bonds and real-world assets make it to the XRP ledger. This is the start. They're not the first, and they're not going to be the last. And remember, HSBC already is going to be tokenizing gold for their institutional clients. Who did they task for custody? Medico. Who is Medico now? Ripple. Ever since Ripple acquired Medico, that's another pillar in the house of Ripple, right? That they now own, and so that's a direct connection to bonds, real world assets, and tokenized gold coming onto the XRP ledger. And I always said, right, that the XRP ledger and XRP inherently is going to be backed by whatever assets and commodities and value is put on the XRP ledger. And does that include gold? Yes. Does that include bonds, real world assets, NFTs? Yes. All of that backs the XRP price inherently because XRP is the native asset to use the XRP ledger, to use the DEX. And when we get the AMM, fire it up. Are we starting to see where this goes? Do we understand now why Rosie Rio says the train has left the station? Would love to see real world assets make it to the XRP ledger, and that's what's coming. Folks, this is it. Get in while you can, because I think that this asset is set to break out and never come back to these levels once again. As always, I'm not here to give you financial advice, but I am so excited. This is such a major partnership, major adoption for the XRP ledger. This doesn't involve Ripple, and we're going to get more of this coming. Legitimate businesses that look, oh, wow, we can use Bitcoin. Can't you really use that for anything, not even sending a cheap or efficient payment? We can use Ethereum. That sucks. We can use Solana. Oh, wait. Solana might be a security. We're going to find that one out in court. And I did find it interesting, by the way, that the SEC didn't include Ethereum. God forbid they go after themselves, right? God forbid they include Ethereum in the lawsuit. That's not a security, apparently. But anyways, then they come down here and they see that the XRP ledger now has NFTs, it has AMM, has additional DeFi that's being built out. I just talked about how the new amendment for escrowed NFTs is now available. So when you go to tokenized real estate, we have escrow capabilities. Why can't we do a real estate transaction on the XRP ledger? There's nothing stopping us. Why can't a company go public on the XRP ledger and issue stocks, to their company, just tokenize the company, put it on the XRP ledger, and I'm sure they'd have to register with the SEC and do the whole deal. But why not, right? This is all coming. It's an exciting time to be in. And like I said, I'm not here to give you a prediction on when the moon's going to take place, but I think that we're set to take off here soon. Appreciate everyone for stopping by here today. This was an incredible update. This is a big moment for us in the XRP community. I hope that everybody realizes what this means and what is coming down the pipeline, so to say here. Incredible infrastructure that's being built. We are getting in here at the start, and this next bull run is ready to begin here at any moment in time. Appreciate everyone for stopping by. If you appreciate the update, let's smash that thumbs up, and everything else can be found at my website, ZachRector.com. Appreciate you guys. God bless.